Hello. Good evening. How are you?
Great.
All right. Has the slide started yet? Okay. Courageous living. When I first heard the title Courageous Living, the first thing that came to my mind was a superhero. You know, somebody brave, somebody that run into burning buildings and save people. Look, up in the sky, who's that? It's Captain Courage. Ooh, you know, that type of shit. You know what I mean? But then I thought about it, you know. Courageous living don't have to be that dramatic. Courageous living can be simple. Courageous living can be simply operating outside of your conditioning, you know. We've been taught a lot, you know. We've been told what to do by institutions, who to be by institutions, what to think, you know, get in line, you know. We have followed a lot of rules in order for society to work, you know, which is good because you need order, you know what I mean? It prevents chaos. But you have obeyed order so much that you don't know when to quit. Like you walk in a bank, there's nobody in there, but you still walk through the ropes. In the middle, you be like, why the hell am I doing this? There's nobody in here. I could have walked around, but I was afraid. I should rob this motherfucker. So the world ain't no punk. If you're not careful, you could lose it, you know? My mother gave me a lot of tools to live courageous. First of all, she was born in the segregated South. She was a widow, you know. When my father died, they tried to give her welfare, but my mother said, I don't want your welfare. Give me a job. I'll work, man. You know, that ain't me. And my mother would always tell me, go there because they don't want you there, you know. And if you can't beat them, infiltrate them. And she gave me one tool that was very important. She gave me a box of crayons. My mother introduced me to art. Art always challenged me to live creatively and live courageously. Art took me around the world. Art is how I got to see my first naked white woman. Yeah, life drawing class. I took 11th grade life drawing class my mother paid for. It was a summer course. And the first day of class, my instructor brought in this beautiful blonde white woman, man, model. And he was playing with me. He was like, come a little closer. Look at the reflected light. I'm like, yeah, look at it. But then art got me in trouble in the 5th grade. My 5th grade teacher caught me drawing the backs of the other kids' heads in the class, and, you know, while she was teaching the lesson. I was listening, but she didn't think so. She banned me from going to art class for the rest of the year while everybody else went to class. I sat there alone. And I lost the spirit for art for like 5 years. Until the sophomore year, I discovered graffiti. And I came back with a vengeance. Seek knowledge, masters of bomb. And I was spray paint on your grandmother. I didn't care. You know what I mean? Yeah, I was relentless. I used to love sneaking out late at night, spray painting on people's property. That was so cool to me, man, until I bought property. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, go to art school like I did. You know what I mean? Yeah, I went to art school, man, you know. But my high school guidance counselor tried to talk me out of going to art. I told her I want to be an artist. She's like, art? What you going to school for art for? You better learn to fix VCRs. I'm like, I don't want to fix no VCR. I want to be an artist. And I'm glad I didn't listen to it because I went to art school. I graduated, made a good career, you know, as an artist doing graphic design for TV stations, major networks. I'm glad I didn't become a VCR repairman. Today, I probably would have been on crack cocaine. Who needs to be VCR repairman? Nobody. Kids here don't even know what that is. Back in the 1900s, movies came in a box. They weren't beamed to your left pocket. Then I graduated, got an art director's job. I was working at Univision, the Spanish television network. But then being an art director kind of started feeling like I was walking through the ropes again, you know? So then at night, I started to pursue another type of art form, stand-up comedy. Stand-up comedy, you know, courageous living is in the job description. you know, tell the truth, you know, exercise your freedom of speech, you know, travel the world. And once I got good enough to feed myself, I said, hey, I got rid of my job, my day job, and I went at it full time. You know, I was traveling, booking shows. Things were great. I was making a living just by doing stuff that I created in my head. Things were going great until my brain started bleeding. I always said if I get knocked in the head, I would lose my whole career. And it looks like that's what happened. I had a stroke, or had a seizure, and I got rushed to the hospital, found out I had a caprinoma, which is a brain bleed. And it was affecting my mobility and my speech. So I had to have a 9-hour surgery, man. And, you know, I had to get a little bit of therapy. And I survived, you know. I came out. Yeah. And, yeah, 2 months later, you know, I was grateful. 2 months later, I was back out with a mic in my hand, you know. 2 months later, out of the hospital, back doing what I love, stand-up comedy. I had the courage to keep going, you know. And then a year later, I filmed my very first, I filmed a special, Brain Humor, which is based on the whole incident, you know, that took place with my brain surgery and all. And I also did, not only did I perform, I also did the artwork for the cover. So, yeah, I'm living my courageous life. And thank God for art, thank God for artists, and I use art to live courageously. Please.